Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. We're so excited to have you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. I hope you're just as excited as we are to get started and to learn more about Elevate Me. I am joined by my very lovely co-host, Nidhi. Hello there, Nidhi. How are you today?
I'm good, Michelle. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I hope you had a great week.
The week has been good. Yeah, I kind of feel like I got a lot more done this week than the previous one, so that's always nice.
Oh, fantastic. And do you have any plans for this weekend?
Uh, I'm not sure. I haven't thought about anything as yet. Nothing fun and exciting for sure. Probably just a day out with the family. And
Oh,
yeah, what about you? Do you have any plans for the weekend?
so it's always so funny. I am so wrapped up in work and our wonderful and exciting students that Friday comes so quickly. Monday's here, and then I blink, and Friday has arrived that I just don't really have time for the weekend. But one thing that I hope to do is I want to learn how to play croquet. Uh,
Oh,
so
that's
yes, I read something in the newspaper the other day that there is a croquet center here where I live, and they have these tournaments over the summer. It's like 6 weeks tournaments for uh, croquet, and they have lessons on Saturday. And I can say they didn't have it when I was growing up. I saw it on TV. It looks so much fun. And if I can get out on Saturday, tomorrow, I really want to go out and play. I think that would be so much fun. So
that's amazing. That sounds like a plan. I know you usually go golfing. Right, that's something that you do love. But I guess it's just the weather. I'm not sure if the weather's going to clear up. So
yeah, that's kind of my fit, depending on
got
the
it.
weather. I always have to kind of play it by ear. So I figure I can maybe try this if I can't get out in golf. Um, so yeah, but I figured maybe I can try this and see how it goes.
Okay, awesome. Let me know how it goes next week. Excited to hear about it.
I will definitely. Yeah, we could definitely have a chat about it on Monday. Uh, so
Looking
yeah,
forward to it.
uh, yeah, because I thought it was called a club, right? Just like golf, but it's called a widget. How fun is that? What a great word, widget.
Oh, wow. Never
Yeah,
heard that before.
it's
Didn't
a
know that.
widget. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a club. I'll just play with clubs. But it's a widget. I just find that word so much fun. Widget. Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Uh, hey, folks, we're just about to pass the hour, and I know you are all excited to get started, learn more about our awesome boot camp, what we have to offer. So, as I like to say, without further ado, we are about to get started and entertain you with our awesome boot camp. So, let me share with you a little bit about who we are and what we do. So, Elevate Me is a groundbreaking disruptor in the industry. We offer a end-to-end solution for those of you international students that are looking for a pathway to hopefully make an impact in the IT sector and find a full-time job. Our goal is to help unleash your potential and elevate you to the very top of this competitive field. We want to help enable you to make that very lasting impact and empower you to achieve your career goals. We are committed to empowering you and supporting you every step of the way with expert-led curriculum, practical project experience, and comprehensive career support, as well as that technical mentorship. You will receive a certificate of completion upon graduating that not only validates your acquired skills, but also helps enhance your professional credibility. As you can see, we are accredited by the Ohio State Board of Career Colleges. This helps you in the competitive IT market. Right? This certificate of completion carries significant weight in your professional profile. The accreditation emphasizes the rigorous standards and industry relevance in our curriculum, making your certificate a testament to your readiness and capability in the field. So what do? We bridge that gap between theoretical knowledge and practical IT skills, greatly enhancing and accelerating the transition from education to professional employment. This is supported by a rigorous 8-week capstone and real-time project, supported by 150 plus hours of real-time project training that goes onto your GitHub. Together, all of these elements are coming together to ensure that you are competitive in our market, and also helps with those job applications, making sure you are highly competitive in the IT market. What does all of this great language mean? It is real experience. Nothing we do is fake. Everything is honest, and everything you can actually speak about. This is what we stand apart. This is why I share that we are disruptors. This is groundbreaking. This helps you feel more confident in those interviews. In that job search support, in that soft skill training, you will feel more confident as you prepare for those mock interviews, in that those, whether it be technical or behavioral. All of this we offer as something to help you succeed and elevate your career, right? As you have maybe have allowed yourself to think about that American dream. Maybe you have stopped and said, what if I'm able to do this? What if I am able to get X? Allow yourself to possibly dream and take yourself to the next level. Here at Elevate Me, we want you to dream. We want you to think of what things look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We are equipping you with those skills to dream. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I just love how you just explained that. So with everything that Michelle just spoke about, all of the offerings that we have on the bootcamp, what we are also offering you is an 8 months money back guarantee. Now, why are we doing this? The reason why we're doing this is to show our commitment to you, right? Because there are so many options out there in the market. Sometimes you might feel like, okay, is this the one? I'm not sure if I should invest in this. Now, for us, we know exactly what we've laid out on the courses to enable the job for you. And because of our confidence, we also offer 100% money back guarantee. And you're eligible to get the money back in 8 months. So at the end of the 8th month, if you still do not have a job, you get all of your money back. So yeah, this is a guarantee that we offer you. Over to you then, Michelle.
Thank you so much. So let's kind of dive into a little bit more of what our course offers. And so there's a lot of things, and I'm going to kind of break it down. So what we kind of get into is, right, that live project. So our curriculum, just so you understand, it has been crafted by industry experts, right? So this live project is a hands-on, right, live project that will boost, as I shared, right, that technical capability. It is mentor-led. It is a one-on-one mentor-led, right, that really walks you through, whether it be through the daily stand-ups, right, you were working with your batch, and it is going to prepare you to meet the demands of that IT industry. It is really preparing you for what the real-time job is going to look like. So you're really in that simulated company environment, working on what a real top US company looks like. So that starts, right, depending on when you're starting, from day one. You're also building up that technical skill development. So as I shared previously, is that you're working, taking that foundational, right, that theoretical, and building upon those technical skills enhancements, depending on where you are, right? You're really working on we have what we call 2 capstones. Maybe you've worked on that in your master's program if you're in your master's, right? So you're really enhancing and building upon that. All of that is working on that GitHub portfolio. So you're having, if you followed along, right, and I'm not good at math, that's 3, the live project and then 2 capstones. All of this is enhancing the already GitHub that you have. Some folks come to us with 30 projects in their repository. Some of us have less than that. This is now adding to it and it is real. So you're having, again, technical skill enhancement that is standing out in your GitHub that is all competitive. It is a very intense program that is giving you those skills that you need. So that's, again, right, that's your portfolio development. What's also happening from day one is that you are getting that career support. Support begins on day one. You will be meeting with your career coach on day one, right? That very first week, that very first day, you're hearing from your career coach to set up a one-on-one, right? To understand what's going on. You're building up rapport. You're understanding what needs to happen. You're starting to work on those job search materials, right? So all of that is being developed in that first week, because our goal is to help you achieve your goals. All of that is in that first conversation, that first week, right? The job application support is being discussed, right? So we know that you're going through all of those applications and it's being frustrated and it's hard. We know this. We have those conversations to help you get to where you need to be, and we are developing a strategic plan to help you. What else are we doing here? If you can look and see personal and professional growth, soft skill training, which is 80% of success in a job. Yes, in interviews, it's 80% technical, but now you need to keep your job. Soft skill training for professional growth. Maybe if you picked up on it when Nidhi and I were first talking, right? We work together. We know each other, right? Well, part of our job, because we work together all day, every day, and we are in constant communication all day, we have to like each other. She has to like me. I have to like her. And in fact, we adore each other. We love each other, right? Because we are always working together. That is soft skills. We happen to be very blessed that we get along so well. That is part of soft skill training. The communication, the problem solving, the adaptability, collaboration. All of these wonderful soft skills are attributed to us being a very successful partnership. Our successful partnership has led to a very successful boot camp here, along with the rest of our leadership team. The 2 of us, plus the rest of our leadership team that we work very well with, has led to this success. Those skills, which is 80%, allows us to help you. These skills is what we are very good at, that we help train you on, right? If we didn't work well together, we wouldn't be able to help you and coach you on what to do. And that brings us, right, Nidhi, onto that human support.
Yes.
Nidhi and I love to support you. We work with you on that human support, right? The coaching calls, the office hours, the mentor calls that our technical mentors also really good at. Reaching out whenever you need us, being available whenever you need us, right? That empathy, that emotional support, because we both know what it's like to have to go through a job search. we've both been where you all are to find a job. And so we want to offer that emotional support, that human support. And so that's why we're also here. All of these components allows us to ensure that you are successful. This is what Elevate Me offers to, again, make us a disruptor in the industry, to allow us to offer that groundbreaking path for industry, for international students. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Again, like I've said this before, saying it again, I love it when you explain this. Makes me so wish I had this when I back in the days. It would have made a world of a difference when I started my career. I remember I started off, I didn't know exactly how to do the job search. So many applications being done, frustrated at the end because I don't sometimes get a call back the way I wanted to. And then, yeah. So, yeah, thanks a lot for running us through that. So, Michelle has done a great job. She's explained everything that we offer on the course. Now, let's look at exactly what we're offering on our fast track data analytics and machine learning course. Now, we're very proud of this course simply because we've designed this keeping all of you international students in mind. We want to make sure that we give as much flexibility as possible to ensure that we're able to accommodate your needs when you join us on board. So the course is 5 months long. The fast track course is 5 months long. It is designed for students, international students who have graduated or are on their OPT period at the moment, right? And this is the reason why our enrollments are on a weekly basis. So we have weekly batches coming in. And every week, the more we get more and more students joining in, it's really exciting because we welcome them on board. The rest of the batch is able to see the newcomers, and everybody gets to work with each other in the live project, which is what I want to speak about in the next point. So there is a live project that we offer on the bootcamp. It'll run for 2 months long. It is mentor-led, as Michelle has already mentioned, which means you're going to work under an industry expert. So our technical mentor comes with previous experience being a data analyst, even a data scientist. And then at some point in his career, he felt like, hey, I don't want to really be in the corporate world. I want to help students out live their dream, because he was an international student himself. And he's told us how difficult it was in the initial stage and how he was able to slowly transition into the role that all of you are dreaming to get into. So here is somebody with a lot of experience to kind of watch over, and you get to work under his shadow, which is, I think, fantastic. And the most important part being it's in a group environment. So it's like a simulated office, so to say. And then, of course, when it comes to the job search, now we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the job search. So even in week one, like as soon as you're on board, if you feel like you're good to go, you're really confident, you have your resume, there are a couple of prerequisites that has to be shared with the bootcamp. Once all of that is shared, you can even start your job application right from week one, which means you can get all the way up to 4 months of job application support as well. Now, I do want to add on that apart from what we are offering, of course, I'm speaking about the fast track course here on today's webinar. In the next week's webinar, we're going to come in and we're going to talk about the other course that we're offering for students who are yet to graduate. So if you're one of those students who are yet to graduate on the program and you are interested on what course would best suit you, please feel free to reach out to our admissions team. We do have options for students who are yet to graduate and are looking for help. And the ones who are smart enough to start early is what I'd like to say, because most of the time we've seen students start way too late when they hit the panic button. But then we're very excited when we have students reach out to us, especially before they graduate, because we know these are the ones who are on top of their game. So yeah, we do have options to support you as well. And yeah, with this, over to you, Michelle.
Thank you. So let's take a look at our fast track, and we break it down into phases. So one of the big things that we always hear is, when does marketing start? When does marketing start? And what we also know is we have a lot of folks that have been applying for jobs before with no luck. So let's kind of talk a little bit all about that. So phase one, and not everyone goes from phase one to phase two. Some are already in phase two. So it is very fluid. Phase one, and again, it really depends on where you are in your skill development and if you do need a little bit of assistance. Phase one is possibly, right, that foundational, that technical training, working on those. We call them optional capstone projects, but I do strongly recommend that you do them because it does go onto your GitHub. And being in this industry for over a decade, the more you have on your GitHub, the more commits you have, the more that you can show that you are doing extra and above, the better. So it is highly recommended. Doing the bare minimum, not going to cut it. So regardless of how you feel, it is strongly recommended. But again, coming in, right, you have that foundational training, those capstones, and we offer two fantastic. I've seen them. I've walked through them. I love them. They're awesome. Recommend them. As you can see on that very bottom, do you see plus career coaching? As I mentioned previously, career coaching begins day one. That's not actual marketing your materials, it is preparation for marketing. What that means is as you are working with your career coach, and Nidhi kind of alluded to this, is that you are prepping for marketing, meaning you are getting work, making sure your resume is competitive, making sure your LinkedIn is competitive, your GitHub is competitive, performing mock interviews, whether a recording or a live interview with your career coach. Why, you ask? You're sitting back going, why do I have to do all this? Why can't I just begin? I love when you all ask me these questions. I could see the questions coming in on the chat. Thank you so much. You could put more of these questions in, but I could also, right, read your minds. Why, Michelle? Why do I have to do all this? Awesome. It's because we want to make sure that you're ready for those first recruiter calls that are coming in. We want to make sure that you can answer those, especially those behavioral. Most of you are great at the technical, right? You know your projects like that. It's the behavioral. Why should I hire you? Tell me about yourself, right? Walk me through a project that you've led. Those behaviorals really stump you. Can't answer them, right? They really hold you back. Those are the ones that don't allow you to move forward. Working on them with your career coach makes you an expert. You are all so smart, right? I've seen it. You're so smart. But there are certain areas that you need refinement. This helps you get to where you need to be. So when those calls come in, you're great. You're golden. We've got that. That's why we need that immediately in the very beginning. Then we can get you. So this is all a requirement. And then, of course, one extra, then you have to work on that technical aspect. Because another area we hear is, oh, I've had all these coding assessments, all this. I don't do well. Oh, it's heartbreaking. We work with you on the technical aspect as well. So once again, you're doing great. This is what we want. So yes, you're doing all of this with your career coach and your technical mentor. All of this happens. You want more details on that? Great news, everybody. Enroll with us, come into our program. We're going to give you all those details. I can't share all the trade secrets. Then what do I have left? Please enroll with us. Hit the apply button on our website and come join us. Now, phase two is the mentor-led, the technical project. That is your live project with our awesome technical mentor. And you see it's still career coaching. We haven't left you. Career coaching still happens all the time, every day, all day. You're still working with your career coach. At this point, you may have already entered marketing. Nidhi also shared that marketing could begin the first week. That's really up to you, right? You and your career coach are going to work on that plan to make it happen. Your technical project, right? That real world project has started. You're also involved in the marketing. As you can see, that header says fast track. It is a fast track program. You are moving. It's 8 weeks long. That's it, 2 months, because we want to make sure that you are in, you are out, you are getting a job. We know the urgency. Now the live project is done, right? 8 weeks flies by. I think I sneeze and 8 weeks is done. My goodness, right? Now you get to the job application support and career coaching. So, right, Nidhi, don't I sneeze and 8 weeks is gone?
Oh, yes, we've
Right?
experienced.
Right,
Yeah.
you've heard me sneeze, and next thing I know, right, that was right. I think I sneezed last time and it was June, right? I mean, my goodness. So now all of a sudden your project is done. You've gotten your marketing materials done. You've satisfied your career coach's requirements, job application supports, right? And I think we're going to get to the math on this, but my brain hasn't warmed up yet. It's still not late enough yet. My brain hasn't warmed up to the number of applications, right? Nidhi's going to help you a little bit. She's better at the math than I am. And I need to grab my pencil. I need to write stuff down. You've got the job application support and you're still doing career coaching. Again, career coaching has not left you. There's a lot of great support that we have. That's still there. But don't be fooled. Your technical mentor will still be there if you need one-on-one mock interview support. We do not let you go on that. We still have all that great support. All right. I think we've covered a lot of good stuff, and I know they're all anticipating our math genius skills coming up. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, I'm excited about doing the math with you as always. So again, both me and Michelle, we've gone through a couple of slides which clearly explains the structure of our program, what you can expect, and then it always boils down to, hey, what exactly is your job search support going to look like? When can I start marketing? These are the standard questions. I'm happy that we've already got a question. From the audience. So if there are more questions, guys, feel free to put it into the Q&A chat box and we'll be able to pick it up from there. So let's look at exactly what is the nature of support we're going to give you to make sure you get the job, right? So obviously, as I've mentioned before, you have one-on-one career coaching support from day one. So let's say you've done a lot of job applications in the past, you're not sure on what's going on, you're frustrated. As soon as you're on the boot camp with us, right from day one, you can get on a call with your career coach, Michelle, and she's an amazing person. She comes with more than 16 years of experience, vast experience of having placed thousands of people very much like you. She's going to be able to very quickly pinpoint on where it's gone wrong and what you need to do to make sure that you're getting the visibility and you're getting a call back, right? Anyway, that's not really going to be a huge issue because that's something that you learn from the bootcamp. It's a life skill that you pick up. It's not just the technical skill, it's a life skill. But then, of course, when it comes to the job application part, this is the most exciting part. This is why majority of the students are always excited to start the coaching calls on and get things lined up, is because we offer 100 plus job applications a day as well, right? So we do have a dedicated team. Yes, Michelle.
I just said unbelievable. You said 100.
100 job applications a day. So there is a dedicated team of career services exec who's going to be there on board for you, who's going to be doing all of the job applications while you concentrate on making sure that you do the life project, you gain all the kind of work experience that you can speak about in the interviews. You gain all of that knowledge and that skill and that experience through the bootcamp while the team is doing all of the hard work on your behalf. And this is where the math does kicking. It's an amazing math that we love to do, and it's very simple. It's just let's take a full month of the team working with you. Okay, so that's gonna be, let's just take 30 working days here. Okay, so 30 working days, 100 job applications a day. So now you do the math, Michelle, if you want to help them as well. What's it going to look like at the end of the 30th day? Yeah.
30 times 100. I'm going to take a guess. 3,000?
Yes, and you're right.
Oh, yes.
So it is 3,000 applications for you in 30 working days. So can you imagine not getting an interview call back through this, right? And then when you do get the interview call back, there is also additional support, which I want to come to after the next point, which is real-time experience, which is added into your resume. So as I've mentioned, you have your career coach. She's going to speak to you about how to create an ATS-friendly resume so that everything goes through. And the most exciting part is you're also going to be able to put in this experience as a real-time experience in your resume. We're definitely going to explain how that works in an upcoming slide, but you will also be able to speak like a person with experience in the market once you're done with the bootcamp. So that's something that we're very, very excited about. And then the most important part, and this is, by the way, something I've even tried with a coach in the past, which is mock interview training. And then I realized there were a lot of things I didn't know, or probably I thought were the right answers, and I didn't know my answers were not really good. So, mock interview training is basically where your career coach will be able to kind of act like an interviewer, right? And then put you through that entire experience of, let's say, a behavioral interview, right? The initial screening call you might get from a company. A lot of important questions asked there. Maybe you're not sure on how to answer them, but the coach is going to be able to guide you and tell you, hey, this is exactly what the response is supposed to be once the mock interview is done. So the mock interview comes in, and then you get trained if there is something that you need improvement on. We also offer technical mock interviews, which means when you are going out there and putting yourself out and actually getting, into the interview process, you know exactly what to expect and how to handle it. So these are all of the things that we enable on the bootcamp. We're very proud about it. And this is how we get students placed. So yeah, over to you then, Nisha.
Thank you. So everyone, this is one of my favorite slides. These are a lot of the companies, or maybe even just a handful of some of the ones that we apply to. A lot of these cool companies you're familiar with. Amazon, Ernst Young, Comcast, LinkedIn, Bloomberg, Bank of America. Maybe that's even your bank. I know that's a bank that I have one of my accounts at. Capital One. Maybe somebody you know has a credit card there. So these are a lot of big companies. A lot of companies that you're going to see on here have made two very important lists. First list is the Fortune Best Employers. Fortune's list is actually not a list that's done by employers, it's done by the employees. Fortune rates all of the employees at all of the companies, and the best 100 companies, the employees rate them. A lot of these companies are on there. Go ahead and go onto the website of the best 100 companies for Fortune. If you look at Forbes, Forbes.com, and go under lists, LISTS, you're going to see a lot of these companies on there as the best small companies, best large companies, best middle companies, best banks, best this, right? Forbes, I love Forbes.com, the lists. They list out all of the companies that are rated the highest, right? Go on there and you're going to see them. A lot of these are on there. Go check them out. What we do is we target all of the great companies. Now, please note very specifically, a lot of these companies will hire at different times because of the different openings. So not every single day are we hitting these types of companies, every couple weeks, depending on when they are. But majority of these companies are hiring. A lot of times we're going to target a lot more. So please know, as the job openings come available, we target them, sometimes more, sometimes a lot more, sometimes more and more. You notice I didn't say less. It's more, and a whole kit and caboodle more. Right? Kit and caboodle more is gigantic more. Right? But unfortunately, the page doesn't allow for kit and caboodle, right? Because the number is just so massive. We just can't put it into words. So that's why it's on there, all right? But Nidhi knows how many kit and caboodle is. Even she can't quantify the kit and caboodle number.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
No,
I wouldn't do justice to it.
no, you won't. No, it's just so massive. Oh, all right, back to you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you so much for explaining how it's always more and more and more. Okay, so coming to exactly what I wanted to explain. Earlier on in the previous slide that I presented, I did speak about how we're going to be able to show your experience onto the resume, right? So the best part is when you are on board with us on the bootcamp and you're gaining experience on a simulated office environment, and you have the confidence to speak about all of this in the interview, you also want to make sure that we highlight this in your resume, because I'm sure, I don't know if all of you are aware of this, but majority of the time when a recruiter or a hiring manager has a look at your resume, just going to glimpse to the top half to make sure that you're a good fit for the role that you're applying for. And you want to make sure that it's being called out there. And that's what we want to be able to enable. So when you're on board with us on the Fast Track Data Analytics and Machine Learning course, you will be able to mention that you are a data analytics and machine learning fellow trainee on the bootcamp in your resume. So I do have a sample resume put up here. As you can see, it captures information about like the possible capstone projects that you can do. We have a very exciting data analytics capstone project and also a machine learning capstone project that you're free to do with our mentor. And of course, the live project that you're going to be doing with the mentor as well. And all of this can be captured, all the tools that you've used, the skills that you've gained, the kind of data that you've handled, the problem that you've solved is all going to enhance your resume. So this is the kind of support that we offer on the bootcamp. So I hope that explains. Over to you, Michelle. Oh,
Thank you so much. So
yeah.
everyone, thank you so much for joining and also for already starting to put in your questions at the Q&A at the bottom. I hope that you are all checking out our website at elevateme.pro. We have our admissions advisor standing by. I know that you all want to be hitting that apply now because you are so excited about the opportunity to come and elevate your career. So please visit our website at elevateme.pro. That is ELEVATEME.pro. That is elevateme.pro. You can also reach out to one of our admissions advisors that is standing by for your call at 614-965-8005. I feel like I'm doing one of those telethons by saying all of that, by saying, please, we're standing by waiting for your call. We've never seen one of those Jerry Lewis telethons that no longer are on TV. I feel like I'm doing a Jerry Lewis telethon. Please, by all means, please call us at 614-965-8005. And of course, you can always email us at info@elevateme.pro. We are very excited and hopefully you will be hitting that apply button and we will definitely look forward to seeing that application coming through. Again, once again, we have a lot of questions coming in at the Q&A, which is at the very bottom, that Q&A. We're going to try and get to everyone's questions, but please don't stop putting them in. So we're going to begin our Q&A. Nidhi, you want to start doing all of those questions so that we can get to them? Oh,
Give me a second.
yep. But again, so you still have a few more minutes putting all of those questions in, everybody.
Yeah, I'm happy today because we got questions earlier on. Usually we see questions kind of trickling in towards the end when we're in the last few slides. I'm happy that we had, I think, in the first or second slide. So the first question that we have is the course duration is 5 months. So when will you start the marketing? That's a great question, by the way. Michelle, if you want to take that.
Yep. So you're right. It is 5 months. So your marketing can begin within the first week. It could take as long as 5 weeks. So within that first week, you are having a coaching call with your career coach, and you are being given all of the information to begin marketing. You are explained all of the components that needs to happen for marketing. Everything is fully explained to you. And so what happens is that the onus is then placed upon you of what needs to happen. It is a partnership between the student and Elevate Me and the coach, what needs to then happen. And so from there, the student, the candidate needs to begin working on all of the materials. The coach is fully available to help you move forward to get everything done. Whatever then needs to happen, as slow or as quick, right? Marketing can then begin. Not until all 4 components, right? Your job search materials, the mock interviews, the live interviews, the technical, not until all 4 components, all the green lights, can marketing then begin to ensure that you're going to do well in those interviews. That doesn't happen, marketing can't. So that's why I said it could happen in that very first week. It could take as long sometimes as 5 weeks. It's just a matter of when that partnership, when the student gets us everything done. Right? So it's not
Okay.
really when we start, it's when you start.
When you're ready to start, exactly. Right. We're going to definitely enable it. And as Michelle said, you have your coach, you can always reach out and you do receive all the guidance that you require. But then we require, it's a partnership. Okay. This is something that we always like to call out. We are partnering with you when it comes to your job search. And yeah, we'll help you out for sure. Okay, so here's another question. Why do I need to focus on a DA and ML course? I do have basic knowledge in data analytics. Is machine learning important as well? I wouldn't mind taking this question.
Okay.
So, yeah, feel free to chime in as well, Michelle. But yeah, I'll definitely just quickly wrap this up. Yes, machine learning does give you the extra edge. Okay, so as you know, when you're applying for a job these days in the market, the job market is not as great as it was before. Things are a little difficult these days. And even for an entry level or a data analytics role, they're looking for candidate who has a bit of an extra edge, and machine learning kind of does that for you. That's the reason why we always recommend that you pick up some machine learning skills. And when you do have that skills, we will definitely be able to support you further and give you that real world experience that you can show on your resume and then help you get into the job that you want to get into. So I hope that that kind of answers. Michelle, if you want to add anything else.
Yeah, and one of the key words in that was basic, right? I have the basic skills.
Mhm.
And then as Nidhi in your answer shared is we're in this today's market, they don't want basic, they want more than that. And what our program does is give you more. It heightens it and takes you to that competitive level. Basic, right? Especially in an interview question is what else are you doing? It's what else are you doing? Just the bare minimum will not get you anywhere. It's not just as an international student, it's any job seeker. Basic and the bare minimum will not cut it. It hasn't cut it for the last 2 years, 3 years, just that bare minimum. Basic in anything is not good enough. It's what else are you doing? And here at Elevate Me, we are that what else? We are that next tier, that next level. You have to think above. If you're not going above and beyond, you're not going to get a job. It's just very simple, whether you're an international or just any other job seeker.
Yep, that's very true. Okay, the next question is actually for the technical mentor. Michelle, if you are able to take this up, feel free. Otherwise, guys, I would really recommend that you reach out to the admissions team and they will definitely be able to give you all of the information that you're looking for. But then the question is, can you please let me know what are the tools that I'll be using while doing the live project that was mentioned on the webinar?
Yeah, sure. So some of the tools that you will be utilizing are Python, Tableau, Matplotlib, Jupyter Notebook, NumPy, Pandas, Jira, Confluence. Those are just a handful of the tools that you will be using. SQL, right? Yeah.
Perfect. And then again, if you want further information, I think Michelle's kind of covered everything, but just in case you want more information. Unfortunately, we do not have the technical mentor on the webinar today, but definitely the admissions team will be able to answer all of the further questions that you have. Okay, I hope that answers. The next question that's come up is, what are the unique job placement strategies that you are using on the bootcamp? I have been applying for several jobs in the last couple of months without any success on a callback. What were you going to do differently for me? That's a great question.
A great
um,
question. But I feel like if we disclosed all of our trade secrets, they wouldn't be secrets anymore. Right?
yeah.
Uh, well, yeah, so just kind of listening to that question, I'm sure there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of things that we do, but probably reviewing the person's resume. There's probably issues with the person's resume that we would go over. I would want to understand what the GitHub looks like. I have a feeling their GitHub is not professional, probably doesn't have a very nice overview page. That would be something. Their LinkedIn is probably not professional. There's items missing on their LinkedIn. Those three components probably stand out most. Again, I don't want to make assumptions, but that was usually the top three. And if the GitHub is missing, even if it's missing on a LinkedIn, or I'm sorry, on a resume, that right there will disqualify a person from not even getting an initial interview, especially in technology. So what do we do different? Right there, that's something that we do just basic, is make sure that GitHub is on. If your GitHub is on and you want to share, yep, my GitHub is on, what does it even look like? If it's not developed, if it's not well built out, if you have barely any commits on there, right? If you haven't even made a commit in the last couple months, that's going to be something. So I would share, right? So again, I'm personally, I'm not going to divulge our secrets of what our team does, because then they're not trade secrets and what's unique. I'm just going to give you the very basic of those three components. Right, so that's something right there.
I would just add in another word into this, the words networking. That's something that we, especially the coach, is going to help you out with. And this is something sometimes students are not aware of how to really effectively do it. Maybe they do it on some basic level, they just don't know how to do it the right way. So, yeah, that's also something that we support you with. So, I hope that answers the question. So, the next question is, what value does the bootcamp certification really add on to my resume when the job application is on? Yeah, I could just start off by saying that, as we mentioned, I'm not sure if the person, it says anonymous identity, so I'm not sure who's put this in. Um, as we mentioned it in the very first slide, we are accredited by the state of Ohio. So the certificate that you do get is also from the state, is accredited by the state of Ohio, and it it carries a lot of credibility, right? So it's not like something that you're putting up there and there's nothing to back it up. We have the state of Ohio, which is backing it up. And yes, it definitely carries a lot of weightage. So some of you might wonder if a boot camp certificate really carries weightage. Maybe it's best to just join a university, just get a I've done my master's. Is it really needed? Will this really add on? And the answer is yes. There are lots of people in the US who do get a great job just because they have a bootcamp certification up there. And in my previous experience, I've even worked with one very difficult student. This is, by the way, a student from the US, did not really finish their high school, was struggling to find a job, got into a boot camp, just had a boot camp certificate, and still landed a great job. So it's not uncommon. Michelle, if you want to add on anything there.
No, I think you covered it very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have another question. The next question is, will you be applying only to the companies you have mentioned? I think it's the student is talking about the list. Also in that list, there were some consultancy companies. So let me just clarify, we do not apply to any consultancy companies. Okay, so this is just to clarify, there are no consultancy companies that we're going to be applying to. We're only going to be applying to good companies, right? And it's not only going to be the companies mentioned in the list. There are definitely a lot more that we apply to, because there are lots of companies out there that constantly hire. We will apply to those companies as well. Now, it's not possible for us to go through slides with all of the companies that we'll possibly be applying to. It's definitely not possible. Sometimes when you type data analytics and you look for jobs on LinkedIn, you're going to find 8,000 job postings. So that's what we're talking about. We tap into that market. It's not restricted to the list which is given um, on the slide. That was just to show you some of the companies that we would apply to directly on their website. But then definitely no consultancies, because that's not a place that we would want you to go into.
Right. I
We want
just
to make sure
want to,
that we can,
yeah, I
yeah.
want to share that there's a difference between consultancy and staffing. So what you may have misunderstood is on that list, they're called staffing agencies, not consultancies. Staffing agencies are, they will place you. That's not a consultancy, is that it is a direct hire or a contract to hire. That is not a consultancy. That is completely something different that here at Elevate Me, we work with you to explain. So they're not consultancies. You're not working for the agency. So it's very different. So what you may have seen that you're misunderstanding, it's a staffing agency. There's a lot of people that work for them and with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're a contract to hire, W-2. That's not a consultancy. Of what you are thinking. And so, nope, there's a lot, as I mentioned, there's a lot of other companies that we apply to. And so, again, these are things that we work with you to help you figure out and help you understand. What we do here is guide you and provide you the best course of action. Our goal here for every student that we have in our boot camp is to have the best outcome to achieve what they are looking for, which is that American dream, and that job that they are looking for. Nothing dishonest, nothing deceitful, nothing unethical that is going to put them into a bad position. Nothing at all, because we understand we are all experienced. I'm not going to tell you how many decades of work experience I have in the United States. I'm not going to do that, even though I know I only look like 20 years old. I know that. I know, I look 20. I'm so young. But I live in the United States. I'm a US citizen. But I have many, many years. My father was a vice president of a Fortune 500 company. So I've many, many years of experience. I have his knowledge of what it is in a company, of a very major company, that if I said the name, you would know it. It still exists today. So I know what it takes in this world, in the United States. We don't want that for you. And my knowledge of the United States, of what it takes, I bring to this company, to our students, and I share it with them to help them. And that's what I do for all of our potential candidates.
And by the way, Michelle, thanks a lot for sharing that. And that's a great call out. We've had situations in the past where students mistake staffing companies for consultancies, and they're worried about it. Like, is this the right place for me or not? Or if they get a call from somebody who has an Indian accent and it's a staffing company, again, it kind of scares them off. But no, it's not. It's definitely something that you can, that adds value, and that is a real job, by the way. Okay, the next question is really interesting. So I'm really happy to see that we do have somebody who is online who's not an international student. So the question is, what if I'm not an international student? The answer is yes, we'll be more than happy to still support you. So the program is not only for international students. If you're somebody who needs support with your job search, yes, we're there for you, right? We're happy to partner with you. Okay, the next question is a good one. What will the real-time project look like? So I could add in something, and then Michelle, feel free to add more. So as we've explained, the real-time project goes on for 2 months. Okay, so that's 8 weeks. And one of the most exciting part is you do get to work with a group of students. So it's not an individual project that you're doing. This is a group project, and you will be working with a couple of other students on the same project. And when you are working on the project, it's not like a regular capstone project where you're just having things up and just discussing certain things. The reason why I say it is like a simulated office is because the mentor will be using the Jira platform to assign tasks to you. So there will be like a project management tool on board to help run the entire project. And the size of the data that our project is on. So the data that our live project is on is from a real entertainment company in the US. So it's not a fabricated data that our students would be working on. It's an actual data from a real company in the US. And that's what gives you that extra edge when you speak about it in the interview, guys, because you're going to be able to speak exactly at par with somebody who has worked on actual company data, which is not something that you get in the universities or anywhere out there. This is something very unique to what we're offering. And the mentor constantly guides you through the entire course of the live project. So if there's any questions, you can always check in with the mentor. The mentor guides you, and you still continue to work as a team. And each one has a specific role that they'll be taking up on the project as well. So I kind of feel that's very exciting. Michelle, if you want to add on anything.
Yeah, I guess if you want to explain it a little bit, they would be doing data manipulation, statistical analysis, advanced machine learning techniques, right? You'd be adept at solving real world problems, making data decision or data-driven decisions. Excuse me, I feel like that's another tongue twister I'm throwing out there today. That's my second tongue twister of the day that I'm doing. Right. So, I mean, that's just a little bit of what they'd be working on. Right. And again, we don't divulge the name of the company, but that's the part of the course, the comprehensive course that they'd be working on it. And as you shared, right, with a batch. So it's very exciting on top of the soft skills that they would be learning.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle. Okay, we do have one last question. I don't see any other questions coming up. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it up in the Q&A chat box. We'll be happy to pick it up from there. So the last question that we have for today is, I'm also interested in data science domain, which is more than data analytics. So will you help me with data science and AI jobs as well? So
yeah, I'll take this. So I want to give more of an honest than just a broad overview. I don't feel answering this one appropriately without seeing and speaking to you first. I want to be very honest. I can't honestly answer. And so unless I'm seeing and speaking to you and seeing your resume, that I would rather want to talk to you. So while we do, again, it depends on the candidate and who they are. So if you came to me and said, I have a PhD, I have all of this experience, that's usually who will get data science positions, being very honest with you. While it's not impossible for a master's students to get a data science position, it is not. It can happen. It really depends on also your experience. So that's why I said I need to be very honest with you. Data scientist roles usually go first and foremost to those who have a PhD. It is a scientist position. That's what it says. Not all, okay, not all. So while we do apply to a variety, it really depends on what your resume looks like and after speaking to you. So while I hear you, you're interested, our goal is to get to a position. A data analyst role is a stepping stone to a DS position. So we would prefer you to be open and to know that you can eventually move up, right, to get it. But without understanding your background, it would be very dishonest of me to give you an answer one way or the other and to tell you this way or that way without understanding more of your background. So your question is just so broad without having all of the facts, and that's not something that we want to do. I just want to give you that what the market looks like. Again, we've done this for a very long time. I've done this, I've worked in the data field for a very long time, seeing people that have come out of the data boot camp wanting these positions, and the data scientist roles have always gone to those with the PhD. And it has taken, again, being very honest, 6 months or more, because the ones that have come out with only bachelor's or master's have had to continuously upskill to get a data scientist role. They can't just go in. It's gone to the ones with a PhD, being very honest. But again, I don't know you. I don't know what anything about you. I haven't seen your resume. I cannot make a blanket statement, being very honest.
Yes, yes. No, I think that's the right answer, Michelle. I think that's spot on. And also, just to set expectations here, guys, you do get to a data science position eventually. Okay. The most important thing is to get your foot at the door. The job market is tough. We've seen students who are very fussy about the job that they're looking for. If they're specific, I want data science only, I want machine learning only, they are not going to find the job they want. And then eventually, when there's no time left, they just take up anything that comes up. So be realistic, be open to taking up even an entry level data analyst role. The data analyst role is eventually going to lead you to the data science role that you want to be in. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle. It's been amazing doing
Oh,
this.
thank you, Nydia. As always, great working with my friend and my partner. I look forward to next week when I see you and we partner for another wonderful session here at Elevate Me, and we share with all of you on what Elevate Me is. But for now, folks, have a great Friday, great weekend, and we hope to see you all enrolled in our program.
Exactly. All the best. Take care. Bye, Michelle.